make sure everything's okay. All right, audio is good to go. What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Malin. Welcome back to the Seattle Seahawks rebuild in Madden 24. We're getting ready to start the 2024 regular season. Well, we're in the preseason, but we're going to start the 2024 season. So, the first thing I want to talk about with this is that we may be in a little bit of a longer haul for a rebuild of the Seattle Seahawks into a Super Bowl champion. And I really didn't think about that it might be a long haul when I started this rebuild. The biggest intriguing thing was the fact that is Geno Smith the right quarterback for this team, or should we look for somebody else? And based on the first year of this rebuild, really that was trending in that direction. We didn't do very well last year. I think we only won 4 games, and we didn't even bring back Drew Lock. But here's our roster for year 2. Right now, I'm still going to go with Geno Smith as our starter because Drake May is only at a 74. Geno Smith is actually a little bit better than him. We actually did have Pete Carroll retire, so we have Kevin O'Connell now as our head coach. Geno Smith, 11 years in the league. I still think we're in the need of a quarterback. I drafted Drake May. Now, I've drafted Drake May in other rebuilds I've done, including a Dallas Cowboys one that did not include Dak Prescott, and also the New York Jets rebuild as a backup for Aaron Rodgers. But Drake May really didn't see the field, if really much at all. And I actually had to make a trade, coincidentally, for Dak Prescott in the Jets rebuild to finally get that team to making the playoffs and to be able to win a Super Bowl. So if this offseason comes around and I see a quarterback that's a free agent that is better than these two guys, I'm probably going to go and snag him. I don't really know who that would be, and if there is anybody good, we'll do it. If not, maybe I'll make a trade for a guy, but I don't really know. Kenneth Walker, though, is probably our best offensive weapon. He's already up to a 90 overall. That's pretty good for our starting running back. That's actually better than what I expected. Charbonnet is still a good, solid backup. We drafted Blake Corum to be our third running back, and we still have McIntosh. Fullback Nick Bellore is still here. Unfortunately, one of the deals with the Seahawks is that we're in salary cap hell because we had large contracts tied up in guys like Jamal Adams and some other defensive players. So DK Metcalf, so we had to trade away Tyler Lockett. I believe we traded him to maybe the Bears or somebody like that. For some picks. Literally, we unloaded Tyler Lockett because he was one of the guys making the most amount of money just to free up cap space. And the reason I thought it was worth it is because we have DK, 88 overall as our top receiver, and Jackson Smith-Njigba had a good rookie season. He was actually second in the running for Offensive Rookie of the Year, and he's already up to an 82 overall. So I feel like at receiver we're pretty set. I did sign Laviska Shenault Jr. just to have some extra receiving help to fill the void left by Tyler Lockett. But, I got to change Chenault's number because number 12 is a number that's strictly dedicated to the fans in Seattle. So I'm going to change his number to something else before we begin the preseason. So we're going to change his number to number 13. He's going to wear number 13 this season, so he doesn't have to wear 12, so we don't have a player rocking number 12. And Dwayne Eskridge is our 4th receiver. So we're not really deep at a lot of positions, mainly because we had to cut a bunch of random practice squad lower end roster players just to make any room what's available whatsoever. Our starting tight end is Will Dissey now. Our starter is gone because we couldn't afford to really re-sign anybody. The only guy that I believe that I spent any money to re-sign in the offseason, I can't even remember who that was, but I know I spent money to bring back somebody, and it might have been somebody on defense, I think. I can't really remember off the top of my head. It wasn't Josh Sweat. It must have been one of our corners, maybe. Maybe our safety. It might have been Quandre Diggs. I don't really remember. But I did have to spend money, so therefore we let guys, unfortunately, like Jordan Brooks walk because we couldn't afford to keep them. So we have Will Dissey as our starting tight end right now. Cade Stover, who we drafted, rookie out of Ohio State, is going to be our backup. We had to really kind of go all in on the draft just to get players that I either feel like is going to have to be a starter this season or is going to be backup players, and hopefully they get a lot of playing time that they can develop. So that's our tight end room. Charles Cross, 80 overall left tackle. He was our starter last season, but we did draft KT Leviston out of Kansas State, and he's going to back him up. He's already at a 68. Hopefully he can develop a little bit. We still have Bradford, 73 left guard. O'Neal is still backing him up. Drake Nugent was one of our top picks in the draft this year, 70 overall center out of Michigan, and he's automatically going to have to be our starter. We could not get any upgrades at center. We couldn't spend any money this offseason to get any free agents. We actually had to basically do bargain basement shopping, very similar to what the Dallas Cowboys and my Dallas Cowboys in real life do, just to fill voids of positions. And we still have Old Twin backing him up. Jalen Mayfield is one of the only guys that we, other than Chenault, I believe was really our only other free agency signing. 71 overall right guard because we had no right guards except for Stone Fortsey, and a 64 overall right guard as a starter just wasn't going to cut it. So we have Mayfield taking his place. Abraham Lucas, 79 overall right tackle, and we drafted Jonah Moham out of USC. He was one of our top picks as well. He's already a 71 overall, so hopefully if we can't keep Lucas for too much longer, hopefully Moham can develop a little bit and be our starter. Draymond Jones is our starting left end, 78 overall. Braden McGregor's the guy we drafted also out of Michigan. We drafted a lot of Michigan players this year. I'm not really sure why, but a lot of those guys were some of the best available on the board in terms of positions that we needed. And he's at a 66 as a backup already. Josh Sweat is the guy we traded for during the middle of last season. We traded one of our corners to get him because we were really stacked at the corner position. So I'm glad I traded for him because we couldn't afford to keep our other right end, Mike Morris. I'm not referring to him, but Josh Sweat is our starting right end, 83 overall, former Eagle. Jalen Reed is still here, 78 D tackle. Brian Monroe is still here. We still have Cameron Young. Linebacking core has a lot of depth problems because we couldn't afford to keep Jordan Brooks or Bobby Wagner. So we just had to go with what we have. So we have Boy Mayfie starting at left outside linebacker. Derek Hall is going to back him up. Middle linebacking core is butt cheeks. John Ragton, 66, and Drake Thomas, 66. But Nwosu, one of our top linebackers, 78 overall. We have Nasridian backing him up, and we drafted Kerry Coleman out of Ole Miss as well for depth. Corner, Tariq Woolen, 86, Witherspoon, 86, Trey Brown, 74, and Mike Ford, 72. We also drafted Nehemiah Pritchett, a rookie out of Auburn, 68 overall for depth. Quandre Diggs is still here. Kobe Bryant's going to back him up. Jamal Adams is still here, 87 overall. He's eating up a lot of cap space. If he continues to regress, we may not be able to keep him for much longer, literally just to get out of salary cap hell. So y'all can tell that I feel like on offense we're decent at skill positions, at running back and receiver outside of our quarterback. Our offensive line is okay, but it's not really anything too spectacular. Our defense has some talent in the secondary. It's the strongest part of our defense, but our linebacking core needs to be revamped. So does our defensive ends, and we could definitely use some upgrades. And we got to determine this quarterback situation. I'm gonna rock with Geno Smith to start out the season, but if he starts struggling, then I'm not gonna hesitate to put Drake May in there to take over for him. And we only have 49 players on our roster, so we can't even really do cut days. And, based on our cap situation, we really don't have any room to really take on anybody. So, we're just going to have to go with a 49-man roster. And, hopefully this next offseason we can kind of get out of salary cap hell and we can let some guys walk that are maybe eating up a lot of cap space, and we can just kind of maybe we might have to rebuild through the draft for the next couple of off seasons, but we'll see. This rebuild could be a little bit tougher than I expected, but we'll see. But we actually got a preseason win against the Chargers. We won by 10, 21-11. That's a pretty interesting score. Playing the Broncos next at home, first home preseason game, I think. And we lost that one by a pretty big margin. We're probably going to be losing a few games this season by big margins. Cross, we're going to go and give him an upgrade. Our best offensive lineman, no question, is at an 80 overall. Bengals 2-0, 1-1 Seattle. Let's close out the preseason and see what we can do. I don't have to worry about cut days because we're not even at 53 guys, so we, I can still do it with 49 players, but, we just don't have depth really anywhere, especially on, the line or anywhere else like that. So we're just really going to have to depend on, who we have. You know, we're 79 across the board. We're a very kind of below average team. That's what the Seahawks are right now. But that's what happens when we had all this money strapped into players that are in big contracts. So we had to let guys like, you know, Jordan Brooks go. I wanted to keep Jordan Brooks, but we didn't have the funds to be able to keep him. And we had to trade away one of our best receivers to just make room to be able to sign players to fill spots that we had holes in. So, you know, this rebuild was pretty tough, and we're having to really start over with a new head coach in Kevin O'Connell. So, did I mess up by? It didn't let me choose the draft class. I hit back and it just gave me, okay, well, we're going to have random players, I guess, for this offseason, which is, maybe it'll make things a little bit interesting. It won't be as accurate, but we'll see. All right, then. All right, well, let's advance to the middle of the season and see where we're at. Geno Smith is our starter right now, but I am not going to hesitate to put the rookie in there. If we start out like 2-7 or something like that, which could be a possibility. I don't really think we're going to make any headway in the NFC West this season, based on how much talent we don't have. That was really that's really like broken Madden. It's like, you know, I just wanted to go back because it's, you know, it wanted me to like, you know, it's like download, but I wanted to like import a local file because I've already downloaded all these draft classes. But all of a sudden it's like, oh no, we're just going to give you auto-generated players. It's like, what kind of logic is that, EA? Like, I don't know what that was. But, you know, anyway, that's one of the gripes I have about this game and the way that EA does their products. But it is what it is. We'll see. All right, let's see where we're at in the middle of the 2024 season. Hopefully we're not just a one-win team, but I wouldn't be surprised if we are. I don't think we'll be that bad, but you know, we had like I think 4 or 5 wins last season. So if we win 6 or 7, that's impressive considering how bad our roster is and how devoid we are of talent at other positions that we used to have talent in. So we'll see where we're at. I think last year we actually started out like 3-3 or something like that, and then we just proceeded to only win I think 1 more game the rest of the season, or 2 more. I can't really remember, but yeah, this is gonna be tough. What? We're 6-1? Wow. I am shocked beyond belief that we are 6-1 right now with this team. Geno Smith must be playing extremely well. Maybe it's our running game? Maybe Kenneth Walker is having a fantastic season? Wow. Okay, I did not expect us to start out the year 6-1. This is way better than I expected. We're coming off of a 22-point win against the Rams? Unbelievable. The 49ers are only 3-3? Wow. This is a very inferior roster, but to start 6-1 is very impressive. But the question is, can we keep this up? Because I don't know if we can. Well, let's get to negotiating. We have $55 million to work with. And, you know, Josh is not really interested in staying. But you know what? Jaron Reed, even if we find an upgrade, I think he'll be good. Good offer. Okay, he just wanted a 1-year deal. That's it. That ate up $9 million. Trey Brown, maybe for depth. You know what? Mike Ford is probably going to be a little cheaper, so I may go with him instead of Trey Brown. And I think Ford, he's a scheme fit guy, so we'll keep him just for depth reasons. And that's really it. Fortunately, we don't have a whole lot of guys that, you know, I really want to keep. I mean, Josh Sweat, maybe Diggs, but I don't know. We're probably just going to have to let some of these guys walk so that we can just get some cap room back so we can actually spend money in free agency. But we were able to get our defensive tackle back, our starter back on a 1-year deal, so that's pretty good. All right, let's advance to next week. We got a game against the Bills this week. The Bills are better than us overall across the board. They're 4-3, so they don't have a better record than us, but I think they're better on paper than us. And we lost. So this may be where the losing streak begins, but I don't know. We'll see. Maybe we had a pretty easy schedule during the first half. Your team's in a good spot. Make the playoffs. Based on the fact we started 6-2, I mean, we're probably thinking home field advantage right now. But, it must just be Kenneth Walker. He must just be having a fantastic season. Last year he was okay, but this year I guess he's just on a tear. He's already up to a 91 overall. So this may be another rebuild, kind of like the last two that I've had, where maybe we just have a dominant running back and he's able to kind of lead us back to the playoffs and to a Super Bowl championship. Kenneth Walker is not a guy on my bingo card I was expecting to be the main reason that this team is rebuilt so quickly, but he may be. So, hey, if his contract is up, next couple of years, he's a guy that I want to keep for sure. All right, I'm going to wait on some of the negotiating a few more weeks from now. We got a game against the 5-3 Saints this week. They're on a little bit of a rebound season of their own. So this is a pretty tough matchup. We're still first place in the NFC West. The 49ers are catching up, but it's only at 4-3, so they're a couple of games behind us. But unfortunately, we're starting to slip up. We've lost our last two games. We're 6-3. The 49ers are 5-3, so they're in prime position to leapfrog us in the division. So kind of getting a little bit on edge there, but we'll see. All right, let's actually get to negotiating this week before we play our game against the Detroit Lions. So Diggs is interested in coming back, but the pricing is probably going to be a little bit high, but let's see. Excited. Okay, so good. It was just a 2-year deal to keep him back, and $41 million is still on the books. All right. Now, this is going to be pretty tough. I mean, Disley is a scheme fit guy, and I like him, but we could probably get an upgraded tight end in the offseason, so that'll just be a skill position that we're just going to upgrade in the offseason as well. Josh Sweat is right now one of our best defensive players, but based on the amount of money that we just have tied into him, I think it's just time that we look at, different players there. Mayfield, maybe. Mike Ford, I want to see if I can bring back just for depth at corner. Okay, so he wants more than just 1 year. Well, that's not going to really fly well with me, Mike. Okay, so we're just going to have to probably upgrade at corner overall. We don't have a whole lot of guys that we really need to look at negotiating with anyway. Mayfield was a 1-year rental anyway. We're going to look for better offensive line help in this offseason. We're just going to. That's the plan for right now. So, Ford, I think everybody else we're just going to let walk. I think all these guys I'm just going to let walk, and we're just going to save the money that we do have and be able to use that to do some stuff in the offseason and free agency, because we couldn't do anything last season. So this is a makeup offseason, basically, even though we don't have accurate rookies for the draft class, but it is what it is. 3-5 Lions this week. See if we can get a win against these guys. This team has a losing record, so hopefully we're not going to lose our third consecutive game, but this things are looking like they're about to get on the slide, and they are. So what is going on? We started the year 6-1, and now all of a sudden, in a blink of an eye, we're 6-4. We've lost our last 3 games in a row. Looks like Blake Corum's got some playing time, so he's up to a 74. I mean, a lot of our rookies are getting playing time this year anyway, so there's hopefully going to be some upgrades there for some of our rookies. And we're still first place in the NFC West because fortunately the 49ers, I think, also lost their game. So we're still first place, but let me just look at the stats and see kind of, where Geno Smith is at. Is it a quarterback? Is Geno Smith having an up and down season? Okay, he's actually playing very well. He's 22 touchdowns, 8 interceptions. He's already thrown for almost 2,500 yards. Drake May hasn't gotten any playing time yet. I guess Smith has been healthy the entire season. 65%. Yeah, we're going to keep Geno Smith in there. I don't think it's a quarterback play. I mean, then again, like I mentioned, our defense in linebacker and in the defensive line is not very good. Well, we got playmakers on offense. We got a 91 overall running back now and Walker. So I'm going to leave Geno Smith in there. I don't want to derail this offense just yet. I mean, obviously we drafted Drake May as a possible, guy for the future. But if Geno Smith is still playing decently enough, even though we're losing, I still want to keep him in there and see if he can ride out the season. Because last year, I feel like I did him a disservice by jumping the gun and putting in a 65 overall Drew Lock to play the rest of the season. Well, we've lost our I think, fourth game in a row now. So we're almost back at 5. So we're almost down to 500. And we have a 5-5 Cardinals team this week that we have to play on the road. We're really on the slide. And unfortunately, we passed the trade deadline, so we can't really make any serious trade moves or anything like that. I mean, this team started playing above their heads early in the season, so for us to falter during the back half of the season is tough to see, but this is a rebuild for a reason. So I don't think I'm going to make any crazy changes, or get any free agents. I'm going to just ride it out and see what this Seahawks team can do with Geno Smith still at quarterback. Well, we finally snapped the losing streak. We get a 6-point win against Arizona. So, unfortunately, that did knock us down to second place in the NFC West. So, I want to take a look at the playoff picture and see if there could be room for 2 NFC West teams in the postseason. Something tells me there won't be room for that. Well, we have the 5th seed right now. The 49ers have the number 2 seed. So we're still in the playoff picture. The Bucs have the best record, so they have the 1 seed right now. Okay. So if we can stay, I guess, sort of around the, just stay consistent at least a little bit, we might be able to sneak into the playoffs, but we'll see. We can't be going on another 4-game losing streak this season. We can't afford to do that again. In the meantime, let's upgrade Kevin O'Connell a little bit. I'm just hoping that, with hiring O'Connell to be our new head coach, he's a former quarterback. Hopefully he can kind of be that quarterback guru type of coach so we can finally determine who our permanent starter is for this rebuild, even if it's not Geno Smith, and just really get this offense to take off to another level. Because I don't know how much better Geno Smith is going to get than what he is right now in terms of overall, in terms of ratings. So I just want to see, this offseason, if there's somebody better out there. And I'm planning on spending money this offseason because I think we're actually going to have money to spend. And, maybe I shouldn't have given Diggs a contract, but, he's somebody that I didn't want to risk losing because I don't know if we're going to do better than him at safety. So I guess we're basically in a first-way tie with the 49ers for first in the division. And we got a home game against the Green Bay Packers this week, which will probably be a little bit tough despite the fact they have a 4-8 record. Any game for the rest of the year is tough because of, the lack of, skill, the lack of high-rated players that we have, even though we're 7-5 and we're playing above our heads right now. But we got a tough game against the 49ers in Week 17. That could very well determine our fate. So let's just see what we can do against the Packers. Hopefully we don't drop a doozy in this game. But I won't hold my breath. And we get a win against the Packers. We get a 1-point win against the 4-8 Packers. All right, so we're still treading water here. And we're back to first place in the division. Let's go. All right, so we're back to first in the division. This is a tight division race. Maffey's our new starting left outside linebacker. Let's give him a little bit of an upgrade. We're playing the Jets on the road this week. And they are 6-7. So they're trying to possibly fight for a playoff spot just like us, but they're under 500. So hopefully we can get a win against the Jets and maybe get a 2-game, maybe at least get some kind of, winning streak, even if it's just 2 in a row. All right, good. So we're still first. The 49ers are a firm 1 game behind us. So are we the number 2 seed now? We are. So we are the number 2 seed right now in the NFC because we are, wow. So the NFC must just be they must just have one elite team in maybe the Lions or the Bucs. So I guess the NFC standings, there's not really any teams dominating this year in terms of records. So 10-7 is maybe good enough for us to hold on to the number 2 seed in the NFC this year. That's a little bit surprising. But the AFC is probably a little bit more of a juggernaut. We got a Miami Dolphins team that's 9-5 this week. Identical records. This is a playoff-bound team, which could be us as well. So hopefully we get a win this week. We're definitely performing way better. I mean, we're already up to 9 wins already this season, which is very impressive. Well, we lost to the Dolphins, so now we're back to 9-6, but we are still first in our division. We're still hanging on. I guess we are, yeah, we're still the number 2 seed. The 49ers are in the hunt. They're in the picture at number 5. So, yeah. Alrighty then. We have 2 more games left, and this game is against the 49ers. If we lose this game, we'll definitely be only in the playoffs as the number 5 seed. But still, playoffs is better than no playoffs. So, we'll still probably be in there. And we only lose, we won? I thought we lost. Oh my goodness, that is a huge, huge win. That might be the biggest win of this rebuild for us so far, regular season or playoffs or not. This team is playing so above their heads, it is unreal. I mean, this team, we have 60, 70 linebackers, and, you know, I guess it just goes to show you that sometimes you don't need, like, skill position guys that are elite at every position in order to win. So yeah, but because of that big win against the 49ers, we are now in the number 2 seed, and I think we're pretty much locked. The 49ers actually slipped back to the 6th seed, so I'm going to go ahead and simulate this final regular season game. I don't think we need to worry about this game against the Raiders if we lose it. So let's just go ahead and advance, and let's get ready for the playoffs. I'm not going to worry about playing this last game because we are definitely making the playoffs this season. There's no way we're going to fall out of playoff contention, even if we lose to the Raiders. And we did lose to the Raiders, but we do make the playoffs, and we are in the wild card round. And what seed are we? We actually fell to the 3rd seed. That's okay. 49ers did make it as the 5th seed. So, 2nd year, and we're already in the playoffs. I'm shocked that we are playing this well. I mean, we had a terrible, 4-game losing streak after we started 6-1. But we were able to win a bunch of games to end the season, and we finished the year, I think, 11-6 or something like that. So very impressive. Cowboys 2, Falcons 7. So we got Cowboys, Falcons, Seahawks, Rams, Bucks, and the 49ers. The Lions have the number 1 seed. AFC, Bengals, Raiders, Chiefs, Broncos, Dolphins, Bills. So a classic AFC East matchup. And the Jaguars have the number 1 seed. Wow, that's a little bit surprising. All right. So playoffs for the year 2 of the rebuild. Got a wild card matchup, 10-7 against the 9-8 Rams, a divisional matchup in the playoffs. So 3 teams from the NFC West made the postseason, which is pretty impressive. But let's go ahead and play this game. Let's see how Geno Smith can do in his 2nd playoff start as a Seattle Seahawks. Because a couple of years ago, because in 2022, the Seahawks had Geno Smith. He started the playoff game against the 49ers, and it resulted in a loss on the road. But it was Geno Smith's first ever playoff start. So let's see if we can get a win. Let's actually go a little bit special. Let's go with the can we go with that's a white pants, Nike alternate pants. Let's go with the gray. I don't know why I'm feeling the gray, but let's just go with the gray for our first playoff game. All right. Going up against the division rival Rams. This team obviously is better than us on paper, and they still have Aaron Donald. They still have probably Matthew Stafford and Cooper Kupp. So this will be our first tough playoff matchup for us in this rebuild. Only in year 2 with an inferior roster. This is pretty impressive that we've been able to do this right now. That we're already in the playoffs in year 2 with a roster that I didn't think had a prayer of making the playoffs when we started the season. But Geno Smith, Kenneth Walker, and the receiving core that we have, that's got to be the reason that we are where we are. I just wonder if our defense is going to be able to hold up against a high-powered Rams team. So we'll see. And maybe it's also the coach. Maybe Kevin O'Connell's the answer. Hiring him to replace the legend Pete Carroll, retiring. I mean, I say legend. I mean, he just won 1 Super Bowl, but still, he's been coaching forever in the NFL. All right, Geno Smith trying to get some redemption after that 49ers playoff loss a couple years back. All right, there we go. We got Jackson Smith-Njigba in his 2nd season, emerging as the number 2 receiver outside of DK Metcalf. Let's go. Second down and 1. Walker, our star running back, taking his play to another level this season, gets the first down. He's got to be one of the main reasons our offense has been great this season. What a jump.
And this is a man who's a 1,000-yard rusher in the regular season, so you know he's going to get his chances.
Get open, Chenault.
Picks up nice yardage on that one.
And Chenault makes the catch for the first down. Let's go.
Made. A good pickup there, 21 yards.
Let's look the play.
Walker now on 1st and 10.
Walker, nice handoff. Nice 5-yard pickup on the run.
To take him down. From the 31, here's 2nd and 5. Here's Smith.
Come on, DK. Be DK. Let's go. Big DK Metcalf. First down, Seattle.
This is going to be another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Rams 16. From the red zone now, Smith.
Smith and Jigba.
Complete to Smith and Jigba.
Got the first down again. Geno Smith is 4 for 4 for 55 yards so far. He's having a great opening drive for the playoff game.
Coming up as they get him down at the 6-yard line.
Walker.
Here's Walker.
And Walker walks the dog. Touchdown, Seahawks. Just the way we wanted to start the playoff game.
Kenneth Walker.
12th man is behind us for the postseason. Let's go. Unfortunately, looks like we missed the extra point. 2nd and 2.
We are in the red zone. Time to get you back to the action as this offense comes up.
Defense forced to stop.
Here's Smith now on 2nd down.
So now, let's take advantage, and Smith Njigba's going to walk in. Geno Smith, his first touchdown pass of the afternoon. Nice. We make the extra point this time. We got a 13-0 lead, but the Rams are climbing back into this. 3rd down and 2. Oh, 2-minute warning. Okay. So a little bit of a low-scoring first half. We're only up by 6 right now. It's 2nd and 2. I don't know if the screen pass is the right thing to do here, but let's try it. Kenneth Walker breaks the tackle, gets the first down. Perfect. He almost got taken down, but he was able to get the first down. Good job. All right, first down.
Now it's Smith.
Geno. Metcalf, another first down grab.
Taken down at the 2-yard line. 14 yards that time for number 14.
First and goal.
Geno now to throw.
And that was almost a pick. Try to get it to the tight end distance there. Let's run it.
2nd and goal, and they will try again from the 2-yard line.
Walker, punch this in. Come on. Fight your way in.
And they'll bring him down.
And he still didn't get in. All right. Well, I'm not going to rush this because
get a little bit closer here. It's 3rd and goal.
We still have all 3 timeouts. And I don't want to let the Rams get a whole lot of time back. So I'm actually going to take my time with running this next play here. Let the clock go down just a little bit, so the Rams don't have as much time to respond. If we score, and we do. Perfect. Awesome.
And this time he is in.
Back flipping on him. Walker with 2 touchdowns in the first half. Great start for him.
A solid drive here.
20-7. We are in the 3rd quarter.
Can they finish the
We're up by double digits still, but we have to maintain
this
lead.
1st and 10 inside the red zone.
What the freak were you doing, Metcalf? Oh my goodness. What was... It's like he stopped on the route. Like, keep running. And the Rams scored a touchdown. All right, well, here we are on defense. First time all game. 3rd down and 1. We are in the 4th quarter. Just started. It's like 6 minutes and change to go. And Puka gets a first down. Rams got a chance to take the lead right here.
That catch moves him over 100 yards now for this wild card.
That interception might be the game changer, y'all. It might have also been Geno's fault a little bit too, but still. And the Rams get into the touchdown. But they missed the extra point. Wow. But unfortunately, our defense is back on the field. Our offense didn't do anything.
A deciding moment in this contest. Now a 10th carry. Here's Williams.
Williams
and he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. 5 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5. They'll stay on the ground with Williams.
All right, good tackle.
And he'll take this one inside the 10 down to the 8. Still a couple yards short of the first as the 3-yard gain brings up a 3rd down. Here's Stafford.
Oh, forced the incompletion. Nice pressure by Sweat. Now it's 4th down. Great job. All right. Well, that was pretty good by us. It just forced a field goal. So if they let us take control of the whole, next drive coming up, could go down the field, score a touchdown, take the lead back, win this game. All right. So we're down for the first time. We basically blew a 13-point lead in the second half. But still drive down this field and get a touchdown and win this game.
Folks, it has been as good as advertised. They trail by a field goal here in the 4th, so they know they need at least 3 on this incredibly critical drive.
Make that play, Metcalf. Let's go. Perfect. Good way to start the drive.
Before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
2-minute warning. I think we have all 3 of our timeouts left, so we have plenty of time to get down this field. But I really want 7 here. I don't want to go to overtime with these guys, because we relinquished a lot of momentum in the second half.
3 timeouts still remain. Here's 1st and 10 now. Smith, this throw finds Smith and Jigba.
Let's go with a no huddle.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. That's going to sabotage their comeback plans. It is
that was the worst thing I could have done. I just did it too quickly. I actually don't blame Geno Smith for that at all, guys. That was completely my own fault. That was completely my own fault. Oh, man. Oh, boy. Timeout.
Now a timeout called for by the defense.
Oh, man.
As they'll talk things over
done
prior
that.
to this upcoming 2nd down play.
Why did I just have to go so quickly after that? It was a great pass to start the drive. Timeout. All right, they're 3rd down right now.
The 2nd of their 3 timeouts, as they'll get it with just under 90 seconds remaining. Here's 3rd and 3.
Make the stop here, guys. Make the stop here.
Stafford.
Oh, come on. Oh, you can't even stop him after that. Oh, my God,
that should
guys.
be the one that finishes this game off.
I played the run, though. I thought they were definitely running it. This is the end. And they take a knee. This game is over. Oh. Honestly, I really actually don't blame Geno Smith for that interception, because I threw it. I, decided to throw that ball. I did it too quickly. I don't blame him for that. Geno still may be the answer, but I'm not going to hesitate to look in the offseason for help.
Symbol that ends a game, that one team loves.
Well, this team definitely exceeded my expectations, and we made the playoffs in the 2nd year. Now it's just about getting this team better in order to advance in the playoffs, because this is a pretty tough loss. I mean, especially being at home and in front of the 12th man, and we had a great lead. We had a 13-point lead, and we blew it in the second half. I mean, we did blow this thing. But we also had a roster this season that was very inferior to even what this Rams team has, and we played very above our heads this season. So, this Seahawks team is got a chance to be better next season. We just have to upgrade, at different positions. That's what we got to focus this offseason on doing. That's what we have to do. We just have to get better at different positions and just see what we can do. Fortunately, Geno Smith played pretty well this season, so I'm going to keep him here, but, if there's a better quarterback out there, I'm not going to hesitate to bring in somebody else. Alrighty, well, let's go ahead and check out, let's go ahead and advance through the rest of the postseason and see what happens, and we'll also check the Pro Bowl roster and see if any of the Seahawks made the Pro Bowl. My guess is Kenneth Walker might have been up for making the Pro Bowl roster, but we will see. Conference Championship week is this week. Let's get through this week, and we'll get to the Super Bowl. All right, Pro Bowl roster. Let's see who made it. No Kenneth Walker, I'm surprised. DK Metcalf made it, 90 overall receiver. Nice. Of course, no offensive lineman. We don't have really any good offensive linemen right now with this team. Sweat made it. Okay, no, that's not our Sweat. That's a different Sweat. Montez Sweat, not the other Sweat. Both Cowboys corners made it. All right. Kobe Bryant made it? Shocked. Can't believe that. So our backup safety made it, as well as DK Metcalf. I'm a little bit surprised. Kobe Bryant must have gotten some extra playing time this season, maybe when, I don't know, maybe like Quandre Diggs was hurt at one point this season, I guess. Okay, let's check out the yearly awards as well and see if any Seahawks were even in the running for anything this year. I doubt it, but we'll see. Maybe Kenneth Walker was up for maybe best running back in the NFC, or maybe DK for best receiver in the NFC, but we'll see. All right, yearly awards. We'll check out the playoff and the Super Bowl matchup. It looks like it's the Dolphins and the Bucs, so an all-Florida matchup in the Super Bowl. The MVP is Russell Wilson. Coach of the Year is Doug Peterson. All right, so NFC, Offensive Player of the Year goes to Saquon Barkley. No Seahawks in there. Defensive Player of the Year. Draymond Jones finished 7th. All right. Offensive Rookie of the Year. Nobody. Defensive Rookie of the Year. Nobody there either. Best QB. No sign of Geno. Best running back. Kenneth Walker came in 5th. All right. Best receiver. DK finished 6th. Best offensive lineman. Oh, Olusegun Olutwami finished 7th. Okay, not bad. Best defensive lineman. Draymond Jones. Okay, so Jones actually had a pretty good year as a starter. That's surprising. Best linebacker. Nobody. Best DB. Tariq Woolen, 9th. All right, best kicker. No sign of Myers. That's it. So nobody was up for really any serious running for any yearly awards, but we got a little bit of love from Draymond Jones, Kenneth Walker, DK Metcalf, so the little things. Let's check out the playoff picture and see kind of what happened after we lost. So, of course, we lost to the Rams, so it put them against the Bucs, and then the Bucs beat them. Lions beat the Falcons. They took care of business, and the Bucs upset the Lions on the road in the NFC Championship game, so pretty interesting there. Bengals beat the Raiders. The Chiefs blew past the Broncos despite Russell Wilson winning MVP. Okay, so he wins MVP, but his team can't get out of the first round. Okay, who are you, Lamar Jackson? That was serious, yeah. Dolphins beat the Bills, so it was Bengals, and they fell to the Chiefs. So once again, Patrick Mahomes beats Joe Burrow. On the road this time, though. And Dolphins beat the Jaguars. So the AFC divisional matchups were upsets. So it put the Dolphins against the Chiefs, and the Dolphins beat the Chiefs pretty handily. So the Dolphins and the Buccaneers are in the Super Bowl. That is definitely a matchup I was not expecting in year 2, but only in Madden. All right, let's see who wins the Super Bowl, and we'll get to the offseason. See who retires and see what we can do with the cap money that we have, because I'm trying to save some money to spend this offseason if we can, because we got to get some upgrades to make this team better when it comes to postseason play. And in a wild, very high-scoring Super Bowl, a 55-49 win for the Dolphins. So the Dolphins have won their 3rd Super Bowl in franchise history, their first one since 1973. The MVP is Tua Tagovailoa. And the yearly awards, Offensive Player of the Year overall was Josh Jacobs. Von Miller, Defensive Player of the Year of the Bills. Offensive Rookie of the Year, Emeka Egbuka, wide receiver from the Browns, and Mason Smith, defensive rookie of the year with the Packers. All right, that's year 2. So we were a playoff team. Surprisingly enough, in year 2, this was a playoff team. But obviously, we have a lot of work to do to get ready for 2025. And hopefully, because I didn't spend a whole lot of money signing a bunch of our guys back, we're going to have some cap money, and who knows, we may have some retirements, so that may free up some cap space, but we will see. I mean, we got 79 across the board right now for this team, so got to get better. We got to get better, get some of those ratings up there overall in the 80s, and see what we can do. Just get this team better so we can actually compete in the postseason. So let's see, 2024 retirements. Let's see who is all retiring. So we actually have a retirement I can see right there. Our fullback, Nick Bellori, retires after 14 seasons. Good for him. Let's go ahead and take a look and see. Was that our only retirement this offseason, or do we have more? No, so Nick Bellori, our fullback, was our only retirement, which isn't too bad as far as our only retirement. So we definitely are going to need to get a new fullback this offseason, mostly because Kenneth Walker has developed into a very good running back. And actually, we're up in the 80s already, so we may not have to do as much, work this offseason. But, once I simulate through this week and I don't bring back anybody that we currently have on the roster right now, then those ratings may start to go down. So we've got work to do this offseason for sure. So our ratings obviously went down a little bit. So first things first, let's take a look at our roster right now. Let's currently look at the state of our team and see what we really have to upgrade and what we can look for in this free agency period to help us out. So Drake May actually is rated higher than Geno Smith right now, but if there's a quarterback out there who's even better than those two guys, I'm going to see if I can snag him. Like Corum, Kenny McIntosh, and Kevin Harris. Okay, so I think our running back room is pretty solid. We do need a new fullback. We could use another good receiver. We got a 91 overall DK Metcalf now, and Njigba's gotten up to an 84, so we're pretty good there. I like Chenault, but we could definitely use an upgrade there. I like Stover as our, possibly our new tight end. We did draft him last year out of Ohio State. He's already up to 73, but we could use an upgrade at tight end, get a real veteran presence in there to help keep mentoring him. Left guard, center is actually not so bad unless I see a guy in the 80s. We'll stick with who we have. But right guard, because we let Mayfield walk, he was a one-year rental. Abraham Lucas actually got up to an 81, so not bad. And Jones is up to an 80. But we need a new right end for sure. And defensive tackle, we need help there. We did bring back Reed, but we didn't bring back the other guy. Mafia is actually up, but we need a new middle linebacker. Our middle linebacker room is not looking very good. Nwosu I still like, and I like our depth at right outside linebacker. So probably not as many upgrades as I thought we needed to do, but we still need to do some work. What about kicker and punter? All right, we're still good at kicker and punter, so we don't have to worry about special teams this offseason. So let's go ahead and check out the free agent pool and see who was out here. I don't know who's out here, but let's take a look and see what the pool is looking like for year 2 offseason. Let's see who's out here. Well, Nick Chubb is available. We're pretty good at running back. Let's see about QBs. Got an 83 overall Jared Goff. Okay. $30 years old. Where does this first offer put us? Well, that actually puts us pretty high, but we only have $3.89 million to spend. Whoa. So we don't have as much money to spend this offseason as I thought. So, but you know what? I think Jared Goff may be worth rolling the dice on him and see what we can do. Tight end. So Disley was actually our best guy that we let walk. So you know what? Based on that, let's just worry about Deuce Stover. Defensive end, we need help. We let Sweat walk. Dietrich Wise Jr., this guy is really going to be just like a one-year rental. Don't have enough room. Wow, okay. All right, well, before we get to that, we're going to have to cut some guys. Some low-tier roster players. So we don't have as much money to spend as I thought, which is a little bit disheartening, but we're going to see. Okay, so we have, let's go ahead and cut Kevin Harris. I don't know how much money this is going to save. Yeah, free at $1.27 million in cap. And you know what, can we cut Kenny McIntosh? Oh, it's going to be a penalty. All right, well, I don't want a penalty. About receiver? No, we have 4 receivers, so I want to keep that intact. Jason Poe. Just to free up cap space, we need to. We have 3 centers, so let's go ahead and get rid of Russie. And we need a new right guard. Maybe I shouldn't go in on Jared Goff. Defensive end help. Jacob Magnum Farrar. I have no idea who that is, but we're going to probably just get rid of him. So we're going to get rid of him. I have a bunch of extra corners. Yeah, Broughton, we're going to get rid of him. Quentin Newsom. Not a whole lot of cap will be freed up by doing this, but it'll be a little something. Let's go ahead and cut Strong as well, but we'll keep probably the rest of the corners beyond him. Rashad Williams, Texas Tech. Okay, all right, well, those are some of the best cuts that we were able to do, so it's probably the best that we can work with right now. So what kind of money did this free up for us in order to do anything? So not a whole lot, but I think it was Wise that I was looking at. Dietrich Wise Jr., 1-year deal. All right. And now we got no more money. You know, middle linebacker was really the position that we needed to upgrade more than anything else. So you know what? I am going to go ahead and not. Can I withdraw the offer? Let's just not go in on Jared Goff. It's extremely tempting, but I think we're just going to have to risk, just getting, not doing that, so that way we have money to spend, at different positions. All right. All right, because we have some decent guys here. This Zahir Franklin. We have some 80 guys. C.J. Mosley, I think, is actually a better idea. 1-year rental deal for him. And these guys are not as expensive. Oh, but the Bucks are in on him too. Okay. All right. Well, let's bump this up a little bit more and see if that does the trick to get Mosley. All right. It put us above the Bucks, so I think that probably helped us out. I'm also trying to really get guys that fit our scheme and that make sense. So retracting Jared Goff's offer actually helped out a lot, because now we have, we've been able to have, more flexibility to spend, money on other positions and other players. Okay, so I think right guard was also another position that we just really need to get better at. But there's really not, these guys are solid, but they're not interested in coming here. So maybe right guard is where we go in the draft. We just get somebody there that's better. So So, yes. So C.J. Mosley is who we went in on as our new starting middle linebackers. We need to get a linebacker there that's solid. But, let me see about maybe other quarterbacks that aren't as elite as Jared Goff. Maybe somebody who could challenge for, the starting job, right? There's really nobody here, so nobody really solid there. Okay, we do need a fullback. Reggie Gilliam. Boston game, and these guys are, always available. Let's just go with the 69 overall Xander Horvath. We're going to go with him. This guy is, a little bit cheaper, so, we're not going to have to spend a whole lot of money on a fullback. That's a lot to spend, so. And we're his only offer. What about receivers? Is there another solid receiver maybe we can go after? Well, we could go after Rondale Moore, but I'm looking for more of a guy that's, kind of a reserve backup role. Maybe Deontay Hardy. Get him here on, a 2-year deal. Kind of get, a receiver that fits our scheme fit guy to kind of just, bolster the core a little bit. And we do need a new tight end. And Disley was actually the best guy available. But Trapman is here too, and so is Tony Trimble and Josh Oliver. So, let me go after Troutman, because I don't know if we can do much better than this. So we're going to go after Troutman. And as far as free agency, we still have $16 million to spend. So you know what? Let's actually lower this offer for Troutman a little bit, because it looks like that we might be able to get him on a team-friendly deal instead. So that way we save just a little bit of money. All right. Well, that put us pretty low. So yeah. So I want to take a look and see what the players we have targeted, and see if maybe I can actually lower some of these deals so we can save some money, because some of these guys don't have any other offers, but Mosley and Wise, Wise doesn't have any other offers. So you know what? I'm actually going to go with a more of a team-friendly deal. Let's just go with a 1-year deal. Let's go with that and see if he likes that. Let's kind of just, save a little bit of that money if we can, just to, save that. So, Wise, is only offer, so. And the same thing with Hardy. Ours was, let's go with a team-friendly deal. 1-year deal, let's see if he'll take that. Save a little bit extra money for us. All right, we're his only offer. So Horvath is a neutral deal. So you know what? He's probably got nobody really clamoring for him. So let's go with a team-friendly deal. Save us, a little bit of money where we can. All right, and we're at 5 for 5 for our negotiations. But everybody else, but definitely, C.J. Mosley and Wise Jr., oh man, the Bucs actually have upped us a little bit. Well, doing that will save a little bit of money so we can get Mosley for sure and get some middle linebacker help that we desperately need. So, all right, we're going to rock with it. These are 5 negotiations, and we're going to see what we can do. We got Mosley, Wise, Hardy, and Troutman, and our fullback, Horvath, I believe. Wanted to go all in on Jared Goff, but, we got to save money where we can. So I think it may just be a season where maybe we give Drake May the keys to the car and see what he can do. Because he didn't really play much last season with Geno Smith, playing well and leading us to the postseason. So yeah, we'll see. All right, let's go to the let's check out mock draft, actually, because I don't think we're doing anything else in free agency. We're not going to have a very high pick. Right now, we are going to have the 22nd pick, Michael Parrish, a defensive tackle out of Penn State. These are obviously, these are obviously computer-generated players. So, but we could use a defensive tackle to get some help for Reed, for sure. So let's go ahead and check out free agency and see if we were able to sign anybody. I don't know if we did or not, but we'll see. Who do we sign? We got Mosley. Let's go. And we got Wise, and we got Troutman. So we got our new starting tight end, a new starting right end for right now. I mean, Wise, he's not a permanent solution, but he's a stopgap guy for 1 year. And C.J. Mosley's here on a 1-year deal as well. Maybe we can keep him around so that we can have our new Jordan Brooks / Bobby Wagner. And these are guys that we're negotiating with. Hardy and Horvath have not agreed to the contract terms yet, probably because they're waiting out. And we did give them team-friendly deals, so they're not clamoring to sign right away. So because we signed all of those guys, I want to see what other positions that we can fill since we still have $18.1 million to work with. All right, so let me take a look at our roster once again and see what holes that this first wave patched up and see what else I can do. So probably could draft another quarterback just for backup reasons. So Horvath is who we're negotiating with. He could still sign with us. And the receiver, Hardy is still a guy that we're negotiating with. So Adam Troutman automatically becomes our new starting tight end to 7-in overall, so that's pretty good. So I like the way that that's looking right there. Our offensive line, a right guard is what we need. We probably need a new right guard, and I think we're just probably going to have to do that in free agency because that might just be the better option. They had us projected to take that defensive tackle, and you know what? Even though Reed is a 75, that guy could actually be a game changer for us. So I think going with Parrish may be a good idea instead. And C.J. Mosley coming in here, the former Jet, he's been here in the league for 11 years, 81 overall, solid guy, fits the scheme. I like him. We're starting to get some guys that actually fit the scheme now, so hopefully this translates to maybe more success in year 3. But, putting together back-to-back playoff appearances is easier said than done. All right, then. So let's go back to the free agent pool and check out right guards once again and see if we could sign somebody to help out there because I just really want to find a right guard that can really help us there. Right guard. Mayfield's still the top guy. Kosmi fits our scheme, but he really doesn't want to. But he's not really interested, so we got to probably offer him a pretty good deal. So let's see where this neutral deal puts us in the running. Does it put us anywhere in the running? That eats up a lot of cap if we're trying to sign him, and the Commanders really want him more. But you know what? Let's go a little bit. Let's go in a little bit. I'm not talking about going all in, but I'm talking about going in just a little bit, to get a solid right guard that's really going to fill that hole and really help solidify this offensive line. Maybe that's what we need. All right. So I think that's really all I'm going to do with the rest of the offseason and, not the rest of the offseason, with the free agency. So let's see if the rest of those guys sign and if we get Cosme, the former Washington Commander right guard. The Commanders want him back pretty badly, but 87 overall right guard doesn't grow on trees. So let's see if we were able to get him. We offered him a pretty player-friendly deal. So hopefully he decided to sign. So Horvath and Hardy are still debating. But we got Sam. We got our new right guard. He wasn't really interested in coming here, but I just say, you know what, let's just go in just a little bit. We didn't go all in on Jared Goff for obvious reasons, but going in it decently on offensive lineman help, for 4 years. That's a 4-year deal. That's a long time to be committed to this guy. But I think Cosme will really help us out on the offensive line. It'll be big for us. All right. So hopefully we get the rest of those guys. We get Hardy and we get our fullback, and we can move on to the draft. So free agency we were definitely more active in free agency this offseason because we had money to spend, which is pretty good. All right, so did we get everybody that we wanted? We got Cosby, we got Mosley, we got Wise. We did get Hardy, and we got Horvath. All right, so that's it for free agency for us. Pretty good free agency period for us. We were able to fill up some holes. We were able to get upgrades at certain positions. So that's definitely helping our overall for sure. Our offense is looking a little bit better, probably mostly because we got that tight end now. So, yeah, let's see about Mock Draft 5 and see if they have us projected to do anything different now. They originally had us projected to go with that defensive tackle Parrish, but let's see if anything's changed with the way that the scouts think. No, they're still saying that Michael Parrish, defensive tackle out of Penn State, is the move. Now, Reed is solid, but if we get a really good defensive tackle, I think that could definitely help us solidify our defense because I think we just need to get this defense really elite again, just like it was back in the Legion of Boom days. So that's kind of what I'm thinking with the draft this offseason. And as far as other positions, if there's another quarterback available in maybe the second round or something like that, maybe get somebody else to challenge for the job, because this job, in my opinion, is still not settled. Smith played very well, but once again, another offseason going into it where Drake May is rated higher than Geno, so we're kind of stuck between two quarterbacks here.
The Patriots are on the clock.
All right, first round pick for us. Unfortunately, these are random generated players. Is Parrish still there? Is Parrish still on the board? So Michael Parrish, but this defensive tackle Daniel Strong out of LSU is projected better, and he actually fits our scheme. So I'm going to go actually with him. He actually is better fit for our team anyway.
Next up, it's the Seahawks.
Daniel Strong, defensive tackle out of LSU, is our new guy. All right, first round pick. All right, here in the second round, I think I may just go best player available here for the rest of most of the draft, depending on what I want to do. We could use help a receiver, but we could also use some offensive line help. Our left tackle situation though is pretty good, but this guy could always go to the other side. We don't really need another receiver, so you know what? I'm going to go with Dwight Bowen, left tackle. We're going to go with him because we need some offensive line depth as well. We need to get some young guys in here. Hopefully because these guys are random computer generated, maybe they develop a little bit better, but we will see. I don't really know. Who knows what could happen? Ooh, some corners are rated pretty good, but we could use some linebacker help. This Marcus Powell guy out of Texas Tech. I know you're not a real player, but, we're drafting him. Our new Jordan Brooks, if you will. But we definitely need some linebacker help, at least backing up, guys like Mosley and the other guy, Okafe, to an 80. Some offensive linemen that are rated pretty high here. This free safety is actually looking pretty solid. You know what? I'm going to take a chance on Greg Hatcher out of USC because I don't know how much longer Quandre Diggs is going to be here, and if he can develop into a solid safety, even being a third-round pick, I think it might be worth going with this guy, Greg Hatcher.
Seahawks.
Well, a bunch of these receivers are dropping, so you know what? Let's take a chance on Sean Leslie out of Miami.
Next up, it's the Seahawks on the clock.
Here we are in the 5th round. Got some corners that are pretty highly rated here. But we need some, but you know what? We do need some guard help. So let's go ahead and get this Sidney Bates guy out of Clemson because we did sign a right guard, obviously, to help us out this offseason, with Cosme, but we could use some young blood in there as well. Get some O-line depth here. Get some young O-line depth.
Now the Seattle Seahawks are on the clock.
All right, we're here in the 6th round. Let's see what everybody's kind of rated. Is there a quarterback that's rated decently here, or are all the good ones just... Okay, well, all these guys are projected to go undrafted, so I'll wait till the 7th round to go after a QB. Let's get Von Bynum out of Syracuse. This corner looks pretty solid. He fits our scheme, so we're going to go with him. Von Byram. Seventh round pick coming up, and I think this one is going to be the QB. We're going to go with the QB in the 7th round. I know that he's probably going to be pretty bad, but you know what? We need another quarterback to battle these guys. All these guys are projected to go undrafted, but we're going to go with the top guy, Timmy Knox out of Maryland. We're going to go with him as our 7th round pick. 3rd string quarterback, I don't really think this guy, I don't expect him to be challenging for the job, but we're going with him as our 7th round selection. Just need a 3rd quarterback to be able to challenge some of these guys because, I still don't know. All right, so here we go. Draft recap. Let's take a look at our selections. Our rookies have already signed their contracts, so that's great. 1st round pick, we went a little bit in a different direction. We did go defensive tackle, but we went with a different guy. We went with Daniel Strong out of LSU, first-round pick. Second round, left tackle, Dwight Bowen out of Cal. Marcus Powell, linebacker out of Texas Tech in the third round. Greg Hatcher, free safety out of USC, fourth-round pick. Fifth-round pick was Sean Leslie, wide receiver from Miami. Sidney Bates, right guard out of Clemson. And Von Bynum, corner out of Syracuse in the sixth round. And seventh-round pick was Timmy Knox, quarterback out of Maryland. He was predicted to go undrafted, but went with him anyway. He's probably in the 50s, but it is what it is. So let's take a look at our roster, and let's see if we need to adjust any positions heading into the preseason time. So yeah, Knox, 56 overall, nothing special there. He's wearing a freaking he's wearing a number in the 20s. Let's see if we can give him a number that is an actual quarterback number. Let's see if we can do that. All right, so no QB numbers are even available. We'll work something out with you, Timmy, to give you an actual QB number. So right now it's looking like heading into the preseason that actually Drake May is actually rated better than Geno Smith. I don't know if we go with him or not. I'm still trying to determine if I want to do that, but we'll see. Horvath, DK, Jackson, Laviska Shenault. Hardy was one of our signings in free agency, and we also drafted Sean Leslie. I'm actually going to change his number to some other number. So that way we can give Timmy Knox an actual QB number. So let's give him a number somewhere in like the 80s. Let's go with an 89. Doug Baldwin's old number. All right, let's give Timmy a regular quarterback number. Let's give him number 18. Let's get back to Troutman, 7 overall tight end, new starter there, looking pretty solid. Left tackle, we have Dwight Bowen, Leviston. So Bowen is rated higher than Leviston, so that may be the right guy to go with, but we will see. And Cosme is our new starting right guard, but we did draft Sidney Bates, already at 65. He could challenge for the second job, so I kind of like that. And we still have Moham, because we drafted some young guys in the draft. Because we got some guys in the draft last year as well. Defensive end and defensive tackle. Daniel Strong, 70 overall. It is what it is. Hopefully, you can get a little bit better than that. We have Marcus Powell, we drafted. So we have more depth this season at different positions for sure. Based on what we were able to do in the offseason. So Nehemiah Pritchett is already the third best corner, and Von Bynum, we drafted, it's going to be the fourth best corner. So we're going to go with all those guys. So Greg Hatcher, we got to change your number, dude. You can't be wearing number 12. That's for the fans. It's not for a player. So Hatcher, we're going to give you probably a number we're going to give you number 20. You're going to wear number 20. And Jamal Adams, still solid. All right, so I think this season it might be time to take the plunge with Drake May and make him the starter and give him a chance to see what he can do. I mean, we drafted him for a reason. If we play him the whole season, maybe he'll develop a little bit better like he kind of always tends to do in the different rebuilds that I've done with him. So I think right now that's the plan going into the 2025 season. All right, before that, let me just make sure the depth chart is updated so I can put May in there as our starting quarterback. Yep, Drake May is our starter. We're going to rock with him and see what he can do. Geno Smith, is still going to be nipping at his heels, but that's the direction we're going with for the 2025 season. Coming off of a playoff appearance, but unfortunately a playoff loss got to get this team better when it comes to playing in the postseason and actually being able to advance. We were able to make some moves this offseason in free agency based on what we really didn't do, which was go all in on Jared Goff. But we kind of went all in a sense, on our right guard with Sam Cosmi, an 87 overall right guard, the former Washington Commander. That was a big upgrade for us, but he automatically becomes our best offensive lineman and definitely somebody who can give us a major upgrade at that spot. So I like that going into 2025. Well, thank you all for checking out episode 2 of the Madden 24 Seahawks rebuild, and I will see you guys in the next video. Take care.